In a galaxy not so far, far away, a long time ago, the cosmos was a vibrant garden, teeming with life. But this peace was short-lived. A shadow fell across the stars, the shadow of the tyrannical Potato Empire. Led by the ruthless Emperor Pal Potato, their power was absolute, their reach seemingly endless. Their ultimate weapon, a space station of terrifying size and destructive power, was known as the Darth Tata. Its super laser could turn a thriving planet into a pile of mashed potatoes in an instant. The galaxy held its breath, living in fear of this starchy menace. Aboard this very station, a beacon of hope flickered. Princess Pia of the planet Alderanichoke, a leader of the burgeoning rebellion, had been captured. She was brave, defiant, but she knew she couldn't win this fight alone. Before her capture, she had managed to steal the secret technical readouts of the Darth Tata, plans that revealed a critical weakness. With her last ounce of freedom, she entrusted these plans to a small droid, along with a desperate, holographic message. "Help me," her shimmering green image pleaded. "You're my only hope." Her message was a seed of rebellion, sent out into the vast, uncaring void of space, searching for a hero. That seed found fertile ground on a remote, dusty desert planet, a place where not much grew besides sand and disappointment. It was here the message was discovered by a simple farm zucchini named Luke Skysquasher. Luke was a dreamer, constantly looking to the horizon, longing for adventure far beyond his family's moisture farm. He was young, naive, and completely unaware of the galactic conflict raging beyond his sun-scorched home. The princess's plea ignited something within him, a call to a destiny he couldn't yet comprehend. He knew he had to do something, but he had no idea where to even begin. His journey started with a chance encounter with a mysterious old hermit, an onion who had lived in the desert wastes for years. His name was Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was a peculiar fellow, with layers of wisdom hidden beneath his papery exterior. Obi-Wan saw the message and recognized the name of the princess. He then told Luke a story of a bygone era, of noble knights known as the Veggie Knights, guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy. He spoke of a mystical energy field, an invisible force that connected all living things. It surrounds us, it penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together, he explained. It's what gives a Veggie Knight his power. It's called the sauce. Obi-Wan revealed a shocking truth. Luke's father was not a simple navigator on a spice freighter, as he'd been told. He was a Veggie Knight, and it was time for Luke to learn the ways of the sauce. He gifted Luke, his father's old weapon, an elegant laser sword, the weapon of a true knight. Their mission was clear. They had to get the Darth Tata plans to the Rebel Alliance, or as they were more commonly known, the Rebel Sprouts. To do that, they needed a ship and a pilot who wasn't afraid to break a few rules. Their quest led them to a cantina, a wretched hive of scum and villainy, filled with the roughest vegetables in the sector. It was here they met their pilot, a fast-talking, cynical smuggler named Han Salomato. He was a ripe, red tomato with a quick wit and an even quicker draw. He bragged about his ship, the Millennium Zucchini, claiming it could make the Kessel run in less than 12 parsnips. By his side was his loyal co-pilot and best friend, a giant, furry creature of immense strength and questionable hygiene, the mighty Chewbacca. Han was only interested in the reward, a mountain of credits that could clear his debts. He didn't believe in the sauce. He didn't care about the Empire or the rebellion. But the price was right, and with Imperial Spuds closing in, he agreed to take them. The journey was perilous. They had to blast their way out of the system, dodging Imperial Star CH destroyers. Once in hyperspace, their destination was supposed to be the planet Alderanichoke, a safe haven for the Rebel Sprouts. But when they arrived, the planet was gone. In its place was nothing but a floating field of cosmic debris. The horrifying truth dawned on them. The Death Tater had been here. They had witnessed its power firsthand. Before they could escape, they were caught in the Death Tater's tractor beam, pulled inexorably into the heart of the enemy's fortress. Things looked bleak, but Obi-Wan sensed the princess was alive, held captive somewhere on the massive station. A daring rescue plan was hatched. Luke and Han, disguised as Imperial storm sprouts, along with Chewbacca, made their way to the detention block. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan went to disable the tractor beam that held their ship. The rescue was chaotic, clumsy, and almost ended in disaster in a garbage masher. But against all odds, they managed to free Princess Pia. She was far from a damsel in distress, immediately taking charge and blasting their way to freedom. As the heroes scrambled back to the Millennium Zucchini, a dark presence emerged. It was Darth Tata, the Emperor's most feared enforcer. A twisted, charred potato encased in black armor, his breathing a mechanical rasp. He was the one who had betrayed and destroyed the Veggie Knights. He and Obi-Wan Kenobi, once master and apprentice, now faced each other for the last time. Their laser swords clashed in a dramatic duel. Obi-Wan fought valiantly, buying time for the others to escape. He saw Luke watching, a look of terror on his face. With a final, knowing glance, Obi-Wan raised his sword and accepted his fate. "If you strike me down," he said to Darth Tata, "I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine." Darth Tater's blade swung, and Obi-Wan vanished, his robes collapsing to the floor. He had become one with the sauce. A devastated Luke let out a cry of anguish, but was pulled onto the ship as they blasted away from the Death Tater, escaping with the princess and the plans that held the key to the galaxy's survival. With the plans safely delivered, the rebel sprouts analyzed the data. They found it, a small thermal exhaust port, a 2-meter-wide target that led directly to the station's main reactor. A direct hit would start a chain reaction that would destroy the entire Death Tater. A desperate, last-ditch attack was planned. A squadron of small, one-man fighters would fly down a narrow trench on the station's surface, braving heavy fire to take the one-in-a-million shot. Luke, no longer a simple farm zucchini, but now a pilot for the rebellion, climbed into the cockpit of his X-Wing fighter. He was about to fly into the battle that would decide the fate of the entire vegetable galaxy. The assault began. Rebel fighters swarmed the surface of the Death Tater, met by a wave of the Empire's Tiger pilots. The battle was intense. Losses were heavy. Luke flew down the trench, Darth Tata himself hot on his tail in his own advanced fighter. One by one, Luke's fellow pilots were picked off. The pressure was immense. He tried to use his targeting computer, but it wasn't working. He was about to fail. Just then, he heard a familiar voice, calm and clear inside his head. It was Obi-Wan Kenobi. "Use the sauce, Luke," the voice whispered. "Let go, Luke." Trusting the voice of his mentor, Luke switched off his targeting computer. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and reached out with his feelings, becoming one with the flow of the sauce. At the very last second, as Darth Tata was about to fire, Han Solo Motto and Chewbacca swooped in unexpectedly in the Millennium Zucchini, blasting Tater's ship and sending him spinning off into space. The path was clear. Guided by the sauce, Luke fired his proton torpedoes. They sailed through the air, hitting the tiny port perfectly. Luke pulled up and away as a massive explosion erupted from within the Death Tater. A brilliant fireball expanded, consuming the station entirely. Against all odds, the Death Tater was destroyed. The galaxy was saved. Back at the Rebel base, Luke, Han, and Chewbacca were hailed as heroes, awarded medals by Princess Pia for their bravery. The Potato Empire was dealt a massive blow, and a new hope had blossomed across the galaxy. But the fight was far from over. Thank you so much for watching this epic vegetable saga. If you enjoyed this cosmic culinary adventure, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more stories, and let us know in the comments which vegetable hero you were rooting for. Until next time, may the sauce be with you.